Oh, you know what? I'd love to help you move your 500-pound sofa up 4 flights of stairs on Sunday. Said absolutely no one ever. Yet thousands of us hear those exact words tumble out of our mouths every single week. Why do we sacrifice our sanity just to keep other people comfortable? Today, on the Due to Expire podcast, we're dissecting the disease to please, and I'm giving you the exact scripts to say no without ever saying I'm sorry again. I'm your host, Corey Kennard. Now, let's grow. Now, before we jump into this topic, as always, I want to let you know that this episode is presented by the No Negative Energy Life brand, a life coaching resource and media edutainment outlet that seeks to help human beings to consciously expose and diminish the impact of negative thoughts and ultimately replace them with positive ways of thinking that will increase one's ability to thrive. Check us out at nonegative.energy. That's no negative, all one phrase, .energy. Now, unfortunately, we live in a culture that glorifies being helpful, agreeable, and available 24/7. But there is a fine line between being a collaborative human being and running an unpaid emotional customer service desk for the universe. Today, we're talking about the high cost of people pleasing. And more importantly, how to reclaim the word no without launching a 4-part apology tour. So, why is saying no so painful? Is it a character flaw? Or are there just bad boundaries that we have? Actually, your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. From an evolutionary perspective, pleasing the group was a survival mechanism. 100,000 years ago, or whatever you may think the timeline is, it doesn't matter. Just go with me on this. Being disliked by the tribe meant getting kicked out into the wilderness to potentially be eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. So when your coworker asks you to cover their shift for the 5th time this month, your amygdala reacts as if refusing would turn you into tiger food. With that being said, I want to quickly highlight 3 research theories. The first theory is the sociometer theory. This is where self-esteem acts like a fuel gauge measuring your social acceptance. People pleasers have hypersensitive gauges. If the needle drops even a millimeter, panic sets in. The second theory is the fawn response theory. FAWN response theory. We all know fight, flight, or freeze. But trauma and stress research highlights a 4th response, fawn. Fawning is the immediate attempt to appease an aggressor or diffuse conflict by agreeing, complimenting, and over-accommodating. It's peacekeeping via self-abandonment. And then thirdly, there's the spotlight effect theory. We widely overestimate how much other people are thinking about us. You think saying no, I can't make it to the happy hour, will ruin your coworker's entire week. In reality, guess what? They forget you were even invited 30 seconds later because they're busy worrying about their own life and who else will come. You see, in reality, people pleasing actually costs you more than you think. People pleasing feels like generosity. But let's break down the actual invoice you're paying every time you're people pleasing. The first thing that you pay is an energy tax. Every time you say yes to someone else, when you mean to say no, when you want to say no, you say no to yourself. You turn your own self down. Over time, the unexpressed no turns into quiet, simmered resentment. You're not being nice. You're just building a mental list of grievances. And then there's the authenticity penalty. If you agree with everyone, nobody actually knows you, not even yourself. You know and everybody else knows, a carefully curated, low-maintenance mascot designed to keep everyone happy. And then there's the cost of the loss of respect. Counterintuitively, research shows that people who never set boundaries are trusted less in leadership roles. Why? Because if you say yes to everything, your yes loses all strategic impact and value. So here's what I want to give you right now. A toolkit on how to say no without apologizing. Now, for this tactical part, we have to ask ourselves this question. How do we break the habit? Step one is to kill the reflexive "I'm sorry." Saying "I'm sorry, I can't" reframes your boundaries as a mistake you made. You don't owe an apology for having finite time and energy for yourself. So here are some practical boundary scripts that will really help you. Now, this is your toolkit. I'm going to give you a scenario. Then I'm going to give you what you usually say, which is the people pleaser. And then I'm going to give you what you need to say, the boundary. So here we go. Scenario number one, work overload. What you usually say is, "I'm so sorry. I wish I could help, but I'm swamped." What you need to say is, "I don't have the capacity to take this on right now while keeping my current priorities on track." Scenario number two. This involves social invitations. So what you usually say when somebody invites you to something is, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I have this thing going on," and whatever that thing is usually a lie when you don't want to go and you're just making up something. What you need to say is, "Thanks for thinking of me. I won't be able to make it, but I hope you all have a great time." Then there's scenario number three. This is the request for free work, like moving the couch, right? Or something else that somebody wants you to do for free. What do you usually say? "I guess I can take a quick look at my calendar tonight and I'll get back with you." What you need to say, and what you really want to say is, "I'm not taking on new projects or consults or work right now, but I can recommend somebody else." See how great that felt? It's to the point. You don't play around. You don't lie. You just put out there what you feel. Now, along with these three scenarios, there are three golden rules for the clean-cut no. Rule number one, is the buffer strategy. Never say yes on the spot. Train yourself to say, let me check my schedule and then get back with you. Now, what this does is it breaks the knee-jerk reaction and gives your prefrontal cortex time to step in. The second rule is don't over-explain. The more details you give, the more leverage you give the other person to negotiate with. You may say something like, I can't make it because my cat is sick and my car broke down. These sound like things to solve. And so the other person can say, well, you know what? I know a great veterinarian, so we can take your cat over there. And as a matter of fact, I'll come pick you up and we can ride together. You see the position that you put yourself in? So learn to say something like this. I'm unavailable. That's it. It's a complete sentence. You don't have to over-explain. You don't have to lie. You don't have to give extra information that other person can use to negotiate with. And then number 3, the third rule, swap sorry for thank you. Instead of saying something like, sorry for the late reply, try saying, thank you for your patience with me in getting back to you. Instead of saying, sorry to ramble, try saying, thank you for listening to me. So, here's an exercise for you. That's right, a little work to do. When a person asks you to do something that you don't want to do, your only job is to look them in the eye and say, that won't work for me, but good luck with the move. No apologies, no excuses. Now, this may feel uncomfortable at first, but the more you respond like this when you are put in these types of situations, the more you will feel like you are gaining back control of your own life. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about being cold, and it's not about being selfish. It's about being sustainable. When you learn to say no to the things that drain you, your yes finally means something. So stop holding yourself hostage to everyone else's comfort. The world will adapt and it will go on, and you will not be eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Now, not to contradict anything I said today, I want to thank you for saying yes to listening to this episode and saying no to the other things that you could have been doing. I'm your host, Corey Kennard.